Hello, this is Xacris777, and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. Between episodes, I have been working on a whole lot of building. We've got a new area of our tower here, and that is basically because I was annoyed at trying to figure out the roof. I was working on filling out the roof here with these just roof parts from every compat, and I like the new roof shape. The problem is, it's odd. Like, it goes to an odd number here, and everything else was going even, and then also I just had kind of like a diagonal along here, which is really hard to build this sort of roof along, and I couldn't get it to look right. So I decided what I would do is instead build it into a tower. Now I'll have the tower goes up a little bit higher here, and the problem there, of course, is then also that it is, odd based as well, because that lines up with that nice and centered. But over here, this front room is actually even. Has these double doors at the front. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going along and expanding. I had to bump this wall out by about 3 blocks, and I'm going along right now and just kind of filling it in because it didn't look right otherwise. So once that is done, I'll then have the stairs up in the middle here that go up into the tower itself, and that'll be lined up better. But we are slowly making progress here with our main building. This is the library. It was intended originally as just a, storage, but it kind of got out of hand. Alright, we've spent a few days, and I think I finally got things at least at a point where I can leave them for now. Yes, the roof needs completed and all that, but at least the building, the entrance here is now on an odd centered, which means it actually lines up with the tower, and I can finally sleep at night and actually get back to what I want to do, which is a whole lot of automation and everything. Now, in regards to that, however, we have a problem, and that is a lot of the automation I want to do. And yes, I'm kind of showing off what I've been working on for the build and everything. I've got the roof. A lot of things I want to do for the automation, I need shulkers for. And that requires the end. I would also like to actually use the threads here with my armor. I'm not using any of them, and I've got a couple empty tier 3 or level 3 threads, and that means elytra. So we're gonna go to the end. I don't know where the end is. So we have 2 options here. One is the easiest option, which is we can just go to spawn and use the portal there that looks a whole lot like an end portal. And honestly, that'll probably be good. But I do also want to show something else, which is from Ars Editions, we have a tablet of locate structure. So if you hit U on this or right click, it will show the various uses. And in here, you can see the different structures that you can have it guide you to. So basically you activate, or you would start your ritual, you'd toss it in. And then before you activate it by right clicking it, you first add in something. So for instance here, a source gem gets you to a Wilden Den. I know where a few of those are already, so I don't need those. I don't need a monument. Nether fortress could be useful, but there's one nearby. Stronghold, that needs, if I can do some quick math here, I'm guessing that's probably 12. Yeah, that's 12 Eyes of Ender. Okay then. I don't have 12 Ender Pearls. Yeah, I don't have 12 Ender Pearls. I have like 3? Yeah, 3. Okay then, we're just going to do it the easy way then, and just go to spawn. But yeah, I did want to at least show that the ritual there it's very useful. There's a lot of stuff you can actually find with it. If I go right back to that real quick here, I do want to show off what we can find. Wilden Den, Monument, Nether Fortress, Stronghold, Arcane Library. I know where 2 of those are already, so I don't need to do that. Jungle Temple, that actually could be useful. Desert Temple, End City, that actually will be useful. Purple block. Okay, good to know. We can get some purple in the end, and I could actually create one of these. Woodland Mansion, I know where several of those are. Trail runes, that could be good. Pillager Outpost, Igloo, Bastion, Ancient City. I know where one is. I found one. And Trial Chambers. Also could be useful. I am actually going to, now that I think about it, I am actually going to get a couple of those so that I can activate that in the end to make it easier to find everything. Alrighty, we have just taken our nearby nexus to get here to spawn. Right over here. Now, I think it's reasonable to assume that this is probably a warp portal to a, end stronghold. I would assume so. but I have no idea. Ah, so it's directly into it. Okay, cool. Now, I'm assuming there's no dragon here, which is good, because I didn't really want a dragon fight right now, and quite honestly, it's kind of a really boring fight. So, let's just take a look if there's anything over here. I see random stuff on the map. I will go ahead and take some ender pearls, because I will need those. And I think, yeah, someone already went through and summoned all of these, so that all of the portals are open. So I don't really know if there is an ideal place that we should be going to here. I would assume that one has probably been explored a fair bit. So let's go ahead and see. This is a break spell. Perfect, thank you. Let's get some blocks, and let's go ahead up to this one here. Let's see, I've got 2 pearls, that should be good. Let's not die here. There we go. Okay, now just to recap here, I've got pedestal, enchanting apparatus, and some arrow since that's needed to make the gliding thread. I have a blank thread for that as well, and an alteration table to put it on. I've got a whole bunch of random other stuff, including, apparently those won't stack, containment jars, a couple containment rituals, because I do want some endermen in jars, as well as a shulker in a jar is going to be extremely useful. I don't know if there's going to be anything else around here, so let's go ahead and find out. Let's put you down here, and I think if I just... let's go ahead and eat first. I was tired of eating the infinite ham all the time, so I decided to whip up a batch of cheeseburgers. They're pretty easy to do. Cheese is just milk and salt, which is just water. Beef is beef. Bread's bread. Frying pan is frying pan. So, pretty straightforward. It is a food, so let's see. You are set to leap in case I end up falling. We're alive. Perfect. Alrighty. Now, if I recall, the tablet here of locate structure, if I use, what was it, purple block, which is 4 popped chorus fruit, which is basically just one of these guys. So let's break you. While we are at it, let's grab a couple of these. I still have flight ritual. How long for? 30 seconds. Perfect. That was just from leftover from my base. It lasts for a minute, so while I've got it, I might as well use it. Actually, that may have been from around the end portal, maybe? Either way, let's go ahead, chop all these down, pick it all up, because I don't feel like going over there. Flight ritual's about to end, so that's fine. We don't really need it here. Let's go ahead, pop up some of this. So I'll take that. Chain smelt, yep, you're still a smelt spell. Pop all you, and turn you into, you know what? That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, mouse, what are you doing there? Mouse skipping around. Okay. 8 of these should be plenty. I don't even have that many. I guess I do exactly have that many. First, let's just check and make sure there isn't one like right here that I'm just completely blind to. Because that is very possible too. And yeah, let's see if there's anything around. The fact that there is chorus over here is not great. Although it seems like it's generating terrain there, not just loading. So, okay. Let's pop down our brazier, and let's give this a shot. Put you in. Conditions unmet, yes. Toss in a purper, and activate. Gives us a bound wayfinder. Pick you up, and it is pointing right over there. This is gonna be one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna jump here and it's gonna immediately pop in, isn't it? It's gonna be like right here. No? Flying is not enabled. And we are back. Okay, once it finishes loading in here. Cool. We're good? Alright. I wonder if that is because I am not an operator. I don't think I am right now, am I? Game rule, yeah, no. We had to reset a few things on the server, so that is currently not added. Fortunately, I happen to have that open right now, so this is basically 3 clicks. Cool. Okay, so is that a game rule? Or do I have to actually do this through the property file? I might have to actually do this through the server properties. Maybe. Nope, not seeing it. Okay. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. For right now, let's try to not get kicked from that. And next time I reboot the server, I will go ahead and fix that, because the whole reason we're out here, well, one of the reasons we're out here is to fly. So let's get that actually working. Let's see. This will be really fun if I get kicked for this leap here, which I might. Cool. And it looks like we found it. That was not very far, and I would have been able to find it without the wayfinder. Okay, I do see a shulker right there, which is good. Looks like everything else is still loading. I can't tell if there is a... It hasn't loaded far enough to show me if there is a ship or not, though. It is looking... Oh, yes, there is. Oh, come on! Okay. Well, while we are busy flying here, because I just got kicked for flying, let's go ahead and... You know what? I'm actually going to capture 2 of you. I don't need 2 of you, and 2 does not technically increase the drop rate, but it can be useful anyway. Let's go back to the ground here. Thank you. Okay. We're going to put 2 of you down. Boom, boom. Put you there and contain you. You just hit the other one, didn't you? You had 1 job. Where'd your friend go? Now the problem is once I activate this, it's going to need source to capture a second one if it's not immediately captured in this first like batch of capturing. The way it works is it captures everything around it. And it made me really annoyed if it grabs one of these things. Where did your friend teleport to? Okay, well, fine then. Really? You just hit yourself too? Alright. Get in the box. You are empty. Seriously? This is going well. I don't need that there anymore. Cheeseburger, we're gonna eat you because otherwise we're gonna die from these things. Alright, so here's how the thing works, is basically, that hasn't actually captured anything yet, which is good. If we're, there we go, on the ground please, thank you. The thing is, it works based off of radius to the jar. So now he'll get captured, thank you. Okay. So because he teleported away, he was no longer in range. This guy is no longer sparkling. I'm going to keep him there for a little bit. I only have 2 of these, so I need to come back for this one later. I don't think there's anything else that I actually need to capture around here, besides maybe an Enderman. You know, let's grab an Enderman while we're at it. I do have 9 source jars. So what we're going to do is we're going to go look at an Enderman, which are strangely nowhere around. Why are there no Endermen here? There you are. Cool. Alright, let's not get kicked for flying. So we'll just run away from him. Yeah, I hear ya. You're following me? Good, I see you on the map. Perfect. And we're just going to plop you down and say goodbye. Thank you. Alright. Now we can get rid of you. We do have carry-on, so I'd be able to just pick that up and move it, but I'm not going to do that. So that'd be just kind of tedious dragging it around with me like that. So I'm going to go through and see if we can find anything useful around here. I'm going to assume no, just because I feel like there isn't usually much in here that's helpful. Like random loot and stuff. Oh, come on, up. There we go. Okay. You guys can fight down there, that's fine. We will be up here. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Creating a path through any terrain even where no solid... Oh, okay, cool. And that is why I emptied out my backpacks before we came here. Alright, not too bad. Got an upgrade for my pickaxe, too. I was running low on my iron pickaxe durability there, so Fortune 2 mending, thank you very much. I will take that. I would like a silk touch at some point, too, but that'll work. You guys are annoying. And that's a shulker mollusk. Okay, don't know what that is. I would like some shells here, though. Would be handy. Grab one of those. I mean, I do have the shulker in a jar here, so I'm not too concerned about that. And if needed, I can use that shulker in a jar to make like a full-on vanilla shulker farm. I just don't want to do that right now. Alrighty, well, they started levitating me, so I decided to take advantage of that and hop up here. Might as well grab these guys while I'm here. And you'll notice... Oh! Right, we have a... Apparently, Looter is making it so that instead of it being the item frame here, it's just a chest, which is awesome because it means that even if you do find a place that someone already raided, you can still actually get an elytra. That is awesome, and it means I can go ahead and fill up on elytra. Any I find are mine to take. I don't have to worry about sharing. Additionally, we do have a data pack or something that is making it so that the end dragon... Okay, so someone actually was here already. Anyway, because there's no head there. The end dragon also drops elytra, which is useful. But also means that if you have one in a containment jar at a Drygmy, then you have infinite elytra, which don't stack and quickly fill up your inventory. So that's a fun thing that some people are dealing with, but for right now, I'm just going to kind of hop around and grab a few things here. I don't actually need much besides the elytra. I might look and see if I can find another city here, but for right now, I think this is going to be perfect for what we need. I at least have one Enderman, one shulker, and that should be plenty. Okay, next fun thing here. I have a sword in my hand, and this sword is one that I just found. It has looting 3 on it, which is, you know, nice. The way enchantments work in vanilla is fun. Basically, they only really care about what you're holding in your main hand. So what that means is, with this setup, for instance, I'm basically getting free looting 3 on this. In addition to, I've got a Drygmy thread on as well. I made a handful of threads before leaving. Go away. Thank you. Which doesn't seem to be doing me much good. I only have a handful of shulker shells at the moment. But, you know, it all adds up, so I'll take it. Where did you come from? Where, oh where? Is everyone else outside? No, there's one down there. Okay, whatever. Anything interesting in here? We'll see. I'll check all these enchantments and stuff later. The diamond stuff, it kind of is useful. Kind of. So right now, I'm wearing the Arcanist set here, which is based off of iron armor, and I don't think I have anything too interesting in here for iron armor. Protection, mana regen. I mean, useful, but like, I can get that anyway. Diamond stuff, I'm not wearing Battle Mage. Battle Mage is kind of interesting. It's, the joke on Discord is that it's kind of a trap. Yes, it has a lot higher armor, and it has armor toughness, which can be good, but the thread slots are terrible. Right now, I'm only wearing tier 2 stuff, and I have, you know, I have 2 tier 3 or level 3 thread slots there, which is really, really useful. Namely, I thought I killed you already. You know, it allows me to do, I've got a Drygmy thread on one of those level 3s right now, and I will shortly, once these guys stop hurting me, turn that into a level 3 gliding as well. So it's really useful to have level 3 slots without needing to have a tier 3 armor, because otherwise I need to go kill a whole bunch of Endermen, which I do plan on doing here. But basically, it the Battle Mage, you don't get level 3 slots until tier 3, and it's overall, just the threads are pretty low. So here you can get a lot higher. Usually I'll even wear Sorcerer, so it's even better threads. So yeah, I don't plan on using the Diamond for Battle Mage. However, Diamond and Battle Mage and everything, once upgraded to level 3, can be upgraded further. So if I take a look at, let's type robes, right? In here we have the basic Sorcerers stuff, Arcanist, Battle Mage, right? But there's also, we have other add-ons here. So we have Ars Technica, which introduces the Technomancer gear, which is basically ties into create, speed of schematic cannons, and machinery damage. We also have Ultimatium, This is from all the Arcanist gear, which basically is just, you know, bigger numbers, yay. But each of these, here that's tier 7 there, they all will require you to get to a tier 3 of one of these first. It doesn't really matter which of these you use. Any of these other armors here that are basically extra sets, like these tier 4 and 5 stuff, any of those can be made from any of these. So your diamond gear, while, okay, Curse of Binding, that's not going to be too useful anyway, but any of these armors, if you're planning on going into Elemental or all the Arcanist gear or anything like that, you can use that with your diamond gear, so that can be useful if you have like Apotheosis, where they end up dropping really good gear with whatever special slots and stuff like that. It can be very handy to hold on to your diamond gear that you get from that sort of stuff, even though right now you may not necessarily want Battle Mage. And you guys are making it very hard to concentrate here when you are making noises like that. Where'd you go? Did you go inside? You did. Okay. Anything else? Should be one more on here. That random, like, kind of magic-y sound that you're hearing, by the way, is one of my, like, relics curios. Don't want to get kicked for flying while I'm over the void, please. One of those is doing, like, a counter attack thing. So basically, anytime I get hit, it will cast a spell at things near me, or it'll cast a spell at whatever it is that hit me. So that can be really cool. Right now I have it set to, I think, chaining harm. So basically it just chains to other things around me and damages them too. It's interesting. It's from, what is this? Emblem of Defense from Reliquified Ars Nouveau. Cast that spell. You can change it to whatever spell you'd like, but it does have to be a very short spell. Limited to 3 slots for me right now. I think we can call this good for this city. I might travel, just kind of go north for a ways there, and see if I can find another city. Actually, while it's quiet over here, let's go ahead and do that thing that I actually wanted to do here. B. No, it's not in that one. It's in this backpack. Pedestal, apparatus, thread. I don't have a core. Or a hopper. I think I can make this work. Okay, this may or may not work. Let's see if it does. So we've got our air essence in our pedestals right there. We've got our elytra goes in there as well. Thank you. And I need to get thread into here. Now, arcane core must be placed next to the base of the apparatus. Right now it's placed against the wall, so it's actually looking for that block to be a core. I don't have a core with me because I didn't think that through very well. But I might be able to make this work. So you can insert into into the apparatus or pedestals or anything with hoppers, right? So if I'm not a hopper, but I can do projectile toss. Where are you? You are in alphabetical order, and I am blind. Wrong scroll. Toss. Right here. This might work. So toss works from a player casting. Basically, it hits and it'll take the first thing in your hotbar slot there. So I've got a blank thread there. Let's see if that works. Awesome. Yeah, so that's how you can get away with not having an arcane core. You guys are all sparkly. That's what that is. Okay. And we have ourselves our fancy new thing. I can put that back in slot 1. Sword can go in slot 2. And you guys can be picked up. Okay, alteration table, plop you down anywhere, and we can grab our armor, put you there, and add ourselves some wings. Perfect. I don't have my axe on me anymore. There we go. Okay, I need to get a new tool here. For the breaking of things, we do have a new item, Enchanter. The Enchanter's Gauntlet. Right now, however, it's not properly set up. So you see the tab on here for like enchantables and enchantable fishing and all that stuff. Right now, the Enchanter's Gauntlet can only take reactive because everything can. And currently it doesn't break blocks, but the plan for it is to work as basically like a Paxel where it can break anything. So I will be replacing my pickaxe soon with that once that updates. But we have ourselves elytra. There's also one more down here that I have to kill. That didn't work. But we have elytra. So let's go ahead and... I think north is probably going to be the best bet here. Just because... Let's actually get our gliding working. Thank you. Northward here, I figure because we took the north portal from the main island there. So I think this is going to be kind of the furthest out from anything. We'll see. There's something here, though. What are you? You say sand, but you look suspicious. And do I have a brush? I do. Well, that was useful. So, thing I just noticed, the wayfinder here actually says how many blocks away it is. That is awesome. I thought it was just a regular like compass type thing where it just pointed, but it actually tells you how far. What are you? I see spawners, so let's get that a bit safer. Alright, phantoms, endermen, and other things. Okay, grab you. Just throw everything in. We can look at that later. Is that a breeze? Phantoms can stay out there. Alright, anything interesting? We'll take a look at all this once we get back home. Anything in the brewing stand? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and eat again. I don't know what all is here, but there's definitely a lot of phantoms, which are annoying. I guess, you know, actually it would be thematic to have phantoms here because, like, you know, elytra normally, if you don't have mending, which who doesn't have mending on elytra, you'd be able to repair them with phantom membrane, and obviously without phantoms nearby, that is not going to work too well. You're just an enderman, you're phantoms. Okay. I don't really need any of you guys. You can go away, thank you. Anything over here? Alright, whole bunch of random stuff. Is there anything else in this little area? Not that I can see. Any more chests? I don't feel like fighting more phantoms, so we'll just kind of run away from them. That's interesting, and I feel like there's probably something under it. Don't know. Lots of cool things in the end. I don't know what all structure mods we have, so maybe there's something interesting, maybe there's not. I'd like the phantoms to go away. I held shift. Nice. And let's keep going north. Alrighty, we are right next to a little portal to get back to the main island there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kill a whole bunch of these guys because I'm just always low on ender pearls and I don't want to have to wait for a Drygmy. Definitely need to remember to turn down the audio in post because it is really loud for me. And I think we'll try one more wayfinder and see if that will get us anywhere interesting. Offhand, please. Yeah. And we will do a little bit more exploring. Maybe I'll do more exploring off camera just to see if there's any other random junk. But I would like to get home and put some of this new stuff to use. Alrighty, let's see if this is pointing elsewhere. It is. This is the original one, 1983 away, and that is only 800 that direction. Let's go ahead and grab our brazier and go see if there's anything useful over here or if it's just like a single tower. I really do like this. I wish there was a way to cycle between ones or maybe like mark one as already found by you so that it doesn't, like, I had to basically travel, you know, 1,000 blocks away. Ooh, perfect. To be able to find a different one. Nice, this one actually has a dragon head on it too. Let's go ahead down here. There's usually, hello there. Cool. And another elytra, perfect. I'd like a few more of these anyway, and maybe I'll just get some. I think Wave said he had like 500 or something. But yeah, this is definitely paying off. We've got our elytra, we've got a bunch of ender pearls, we've got a whole bunch of random junk that I need to sort through. or just throw it into a chest and never look at it again. But I think we are ready to head back home. Alrighty, let's go ahead and head home. I think our little portal thingy was around here somewhere. Looking for a beam into the sky, please. I feel like it was somewhere around here. Actually, you know what'll help me to find it is I made that little platform for killing Enderman, didn't I? So that should be around here somewhere. I think. Maybe. Or maybe I'm lost. Alright, I don't know if this is ours or not, but yes it is, because that was right up there. Wait, was this one that I dug into? Yes it is, okay. Right over here then, let's see if we can make this. Probably not, because I'm not a very good flyer at this. Still counts. Let's... you know, I have a lot of ender pearls. I don't need to head over there. I'm going to assume over there is an ender, just because that tends to be what gets made here when you have a random platform going off from spawn here. What is that made out of? Leaf blocks. Yeah, ender. Let's head home. This should get us... Seriously? At some point I'll remember to disable that. It had been disabled. Like I said before, we've had a fair number of random bugs on this server. It is a test server after all. It's going to kick me for flying. We've had a lot of weird bugs. We finally finished fighting one where it was basically none of our recipes worked. I've read that before. None of our recipes worked, so we've had a whole bunch of resetting things, going back and forth, disabling, enabling, updating various mods. We've got that all sorted out eventually, but it was a pain. And in part of that, we updated Forge a few times, or NeoForge rather. So that's been fun, but in that process, we did lose our server properties file, which is the one that like keeps track of everything from like seed and all that. So, in fact, I don't even know if this is running the same seed at this point. It may not be. We'll probably have weird train generation. Anyway, we'll sort that out later. But speaking of sorting, I'm going to spend a few minutes here and just kind of go through and see what all I actually got, what's worthwhile, and what's actually worth mentioning. We've gone through and sorted out a bunch of our stuff. There's still 3 backpacks here of basically just random stuff. I did switch over. Apparently I found a diamond backpack, which is pretty cool. So I upgraded my personal backpack that's on my back to that. But what do we have? We have a whole bunch of random gear, armor as well as tools. And I'll need to go through here and figure out which of these I want to use. Like this one here, efficiency, unbreaking, mending. That sounds pretty good. But we also then have over here, this backpack is various curios and relics that I found. So that's from the relics mod, a couple of these from irons, as well as from the artifacts mod. And then we have these starfall scrolls, sacrifice scrolls, all these various scrolls from iron spell and spell books, and the ink to go along with that. And of course right here in this empty spot is actually a ring of invisibility, because of course it's invisible. Anyway, I'll have to go through and I may decide to deal with these. I'll probably just dump the rest of this into storage because I do like having multiple backpacks with me. It's handy for when I go exploring. We also have a dragon head. I'll put that somewhere. Right there works. Other than that, I think that's one that I had in my regular backpack, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead and grab these tablets. Some of these might actually be ones that I had in my regular backpack. I think this was the original backpack I'd been carrying around. Right, not tablets. Tablet. Singular. If you double click that, then it will highlight things, which is very nice. Right, because those drop from the tablet. I'll take those as well, because that can just get dumped into storage. 2 more of those. Grab them. And I think that's it for those. Anyway, I think we made pretty good progress with that. Next up, I have another task I want to do before we call it a day, because the whole reason I went here, well, there's several reasons. One was the elytra, because I like that. But we have a containment jar with a shulker and an enderman. Now, off camera for the past while, I have been capturing a lot of different things. So I've got a container of allays in there. Basically, I've just been multiplying these guys up every so often, bringing them over to the containment ritual and capturing them. Over here in our little entryway, which is now odd-based, yay, we have an owl. This was gifted to us by, I want to say Crow? Crow lives just over there. It was either Crow or Wave, sorry, I can't remember who gave that to me. And this one right here, this is a crusher from occultism. We'll get into occultism later. I just needed to have a lot more gold being processed, so I just threw him together. He's a pretty quick thing to make. It's like literally the first thing you do in occultism is, all right, now that you have basic chalk, make yourself a crusher because you need that for everything else. We also have an armadillo. I named it Baby Ankylosaur. I found him. And over here, which is where we summoned our crusher, by the way, right here. Nice little smiley face. We also have a containment ritual that's been running just kind of whenever. I occasionally come over here, drop off a new jar of source, and just capture whatever is around. So we had a storm a while back, and it gave me a zombie horse sitting there all alone, which of course everyone knows is going to be a trap, and you get 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So dealt with the horsemen, now I have the horses left, and so those exist. I don't know what I want to do with those. I'll probably just keep them somewhere, but they exist. Next up, I also have been capturing every wandering trader that comes by because they give various useful trades like uncommon ink or these talismans and stuff like that. Each of these tends to have something interesting like that, or sepia globe, why not? I don't actually need most of you. You will actually come with me because I'm not going to bother trading with you. Wandering traders, of course, won't reset their trades when they're captured. Well, they don't reset their trades anyway, but there's ways that you can get around that. Basically, same concept as vanilla void trading, where basically if you are in here with the window, if for some reason this guy were to suddenly stop existing, your window doesn't know that he's not there anymore. So what you can do is if you have like a delayed break on a spell, you can then break it or delay break it, start trading with him. The delay will finish, it will break, pop into your inventory, and now you can trade with him and he won't know it, which means that his trades won't actually get used up or refreshed or anything. It also means that they won't gain the like level experience here, like the master level here. They're not going to gain anything with that either, but with wandering traders, that can be very useful if they have things that you might want to trade more often. Black Rose, for instance. Black dye could be nice without having to do a wither farm. Pufferfish, if for some reason you needed that. Mystery Squirrel Pouch. I haven't actually traded this one yet to see because it's 51 emeralds, but that is something that I want to try later. I don't know if it's different each time. Like, if I buy 10 of these, is it going to be 10 different ones? It's probably meant to be trade at once and then it's sold out. But, like I said, we'll get around that. Anyway, what I wanted to do here was I'm going around picking up a few of these because you'll notice Wandering Trader, he doesn't drop anything. Spider does, Llama does, he'll drop leather. Allays over here, they won't drop anything either. And that's for a reason. If you have mobs, the way that the Drygmy works is the more mobs you have, the more item drops you get, right? Pretty straightforward. But the thing that isn't necessarily as obvious and straightforward, oh yeah, we got half a stack of diamonds there, and 24 shulker shells. If you have mobs that don't have any drop, do I have any storage here, jar? No, I don't, okay. What'll happen with the Drygmy is it'll still count as a unique mob without changing the loot pool. For instance, if I have a cow in the Drygmy area, it's going to start dropping leather, right? It's going to produce leather, or the sheep is going to give me wool and mutton. I think this guy will give me seagrass or something. I don't want seagrass. I want ender pearls and I want shulker shells. So if I start using mobs that have drops, then that's just going to, decrease effectively how many other drops I get of things I actually want, like shulkers. So instead, what you do is you capture a whole bunch of things that don't have a drop, and so now you have 50 or whatever dropless mobs in there. The Drygmy just says, all right, you got 50 mobs, I'm going to give you however many items that's worth, which means you can actually create fairly optimized Drygmy setups where it just gives a ton of one thing, again, shulker shells being the one I'm looking for right now, without having to just have it be a whole bunch of these to kind of offset the other mobs that you have in there. Otherwise, I'd have to have 20 different shulkers in here just to try to balance it out to have mostly shulker drops. Other things that don't have drops would be, I've got a quick little slime farm down here. Anyway, over here we've got a slime spawner that I found. So just a quick little dark room, but slimes don't actually drop slime, only baby slimes do. So that means if I were to capture, say, a giant slime, perfect timing, thank you, he doesn't have a drop. He has no drop. So that means I can just capture him, and the Drygmy is going to say, alright, you don't drop anything, but you still count as a mob, let's give you more shulker shells, why not? So let's grab this. Did I keep my brazier on me? I've got one that works, perfect. You can go there. You can go there. And is the other one a medium? Not yet. Now it is. Cool. And let's throw down a few of these guys. Cool. So that's a medium and a large slime that we have in containment now. So we're going to drop those off at the Drygmy. I suppose we should probably make a Drygmy before we take something to a Drygmy. Anyway, let's head down here. And this is a small setup that I have. I'll get into more detail on this later, but it has to do with all the automation plans I'm working on. Let's go ahead and put everything in here, starting with the Drygmy token and all that stuff. Nothing happens. Yes. Let me grab our start button. Once I put this in here, it will then distribute everything to our apparatus up here and should start processing about now. Close enough. Slow because it has to load all these through a hopper into the lectern down there, but that will load everything into here, put the first item into the apparatus itself, and then once that is done, this guy over here takes over, pulls the item out of the apparatus into a jar long enough for a comparator to tick this dropper. The dropper itself currently is doing nothing. It's for later once I get to proper automation on this, so I can tell it to create a certain number of something, especially things like the lecterns. So let's go here and we can grab our Drygmy charm out. Perfect, thank you. And let's grab some cobble, specifically the mossy variant of cobble. Now, where am I going to put you? I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here. I don't really have a specific plan for this tower area. The main thing is I needed everything to line up nicely, and the roof wasn't working, so now I have a tower because I didn't want to do a roof. And I've got a storage lectern in the middle of this right now, but I think I don't want it. I don't have an axe on me anymore. It's just wrong, punching it. Anyway, put you right there. Pick these up as well because I don't need them at the moment. That's basically just access for building this, as well as use the thing of yurting to move our flight ritual over here. So thank you again, Cuther, for that. And I think all I do is right click here. Drygmy Hinge starts doing some work. Let me grab over here. I do want a chest. Actually a barrel maybe? We'll grab a regular barrel and we'll get some iron and gold around that. In fact, we've got the diamonds now. We can go ahead and make that a diamond one as well. Whatever. Gold's good enough. And we'll put this right next to it. It could be under it, could be above it. It just needs to be here. And he's already getting to work, which is cool. Also weird because he does have source over here. Right, you're infinite source. You won't be here forever though, so we'll deal with that later. I still haven't actually set up actual source distribution, so I need to figure out where I put relays and everything for that. I do want basically the entire island, as well as surrounding areas, to be able to get source from just anywhere. Right now, like I said, he's looking at these allays, which is good, except I need him to be looking at other stuff too. I don't quite remember his range. The book says 10 blocks, so let's pretend it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out to here, and let's also pretend it's a square. It may not be. Let's put our shulker, just to kind of test this, right here. Because if it's 10 by 10, or if it's, I guess that'd be 21 by 21, then you're valid. Cool, and we'll get shulker shells. If you're not, then we won't. Put these here as well. I will have to come up with a proper way of displaying these. I think putting them on like a pedestal type thing would be an option. I'm going to put the Enderman right there and see if he gets anything. We'll center it. Why not? Maybe I'll build like a little pedestal thing around here as a display of all the various mobs. That's one option. I don't really know what I want to do with that, so for right now, though, I do need to get some stuff running. I don't need an allay jar because we've got allays over there. I'll put it here anyway. Trader llama gets me... I don't know. Trader llama. I know you get me leather. So if I look up where we get leather, will that show me things that I can kill for it? No. Like I mentioned, JEI is sort of one of those things that's being weird at the moment, so maybe we used to have that and we don't now. Spider, I don't need any string. Spider eyes could be useful. Trader llama I'll leave out for now. For right now, I'll just put the rest of these in this chest. You're not a real cat, by the way. Alright, and over here. Anything in you yet? No. So the way this works is Mr. Drygmy wanders around, or you can have him sit in a chair or something. He doesn't actually need to have access to anything. But he'll come around and dance, and then it does a little magic, flying, magic-y thing. Like so. So magic-y. Anyway, after 20 of those little magic balls, he will then actually do the work. Now it's worth noting, he does not matter. He does not need to reach the jars, he does not need to reach the actual mobs, and technically I do want to point out also that the jars is not the primary way that this guy works. He works off of mobs. So it doesn't matter, you can't just like put an item in here, right? It also works specifically on the loot table. So if this allay were to be holding an item and I were to kill it, it would drop that item, but that's not part of its loot table. It has nothing on the loot table. So right now he's just doing nothing. And then the other part is this will do 20 different little magic balls there, and then eventually it will just deposit everything all at once. Now because it deposits everything all at once, if it does not fit in here, it's basically just voided. So I picked a gold barrel here specifically because if you do like a hopper, well, you're limited to 5 slots, and 5 is not that much if you get a full area set up here. So he doesn't have to wander to each thing, he just kind of does what he does. I'm not going to do anything to contain him, I want him just kind of wandering around because I like more motion in my base. But after 20 of those little magic dances, then it will deposit everything here and draw 10% of a source jar. So right now it's just refreshing the tablet of flight there, so that's what that was dropping down for. I think we should be getting close to 20, but I may not actually have anything useful within here. Like the shulker and the enderman are the only thing that actually have drops within this area right now. You guys don't. The cat up here might, if you're in range. Might not be in range though. So I'll see if that does anything. I don't know if this will or if I need to move everything closer. Very few things in our book actually say the specific range of them because a lot of them are configurable. But the thing is that this is the one thing that is actually mentioned and I'm pretty sure it's wrong. And what I'm going to do, I just flipped the shulker to over here. Wow, you're damaged a lot. And it got me shulker. It did not, however, get me enderman or spider anything. So, and that just got deposited. So that does work to get me those, and it looks like it's probably spherical then? Either that or I didn't wait long enough. I'll let him run for a little bit and just kind of see what we get, but the main thing I wanted him for was the shulker shells. Experience gems are also very useful to have. You'll notice I only have 1 of these, and it still got me 4 shells, 5 of these mollusks, whatever they are, and 2 experience gems, because, again, everything else that's in here, granted this is a duplicate of these, so they won't actually help at all, only 1 of each item, or 1 of each mob matters here, but because there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, if these count, I don't know if they do or not, but basically because those exist in here, it is increasing the number of the total drops I would get more than I'd get from just a single shulker. So, pretty handy, and now we have shulker shells to do some stuff with. I'm trying to map out exactly where he is treating as valid and not. He seemed to like the villager right here, but not right here. At least he's not really looking at the villager, so maybe let's try that right here, and then we'll bump you back over here. It would be nice if there was like a visual indicator thing. I could like right click on it and have it show a, like a sphere around it. But we'll see. Do you like the villager? Are you dancing at the villager or at the slime? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Nothing. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's for the villager, but... Or maybe you're dancing for the LA over there. Don't know what that was. Anyway, it's mostly working. We're gonna have a whole bunch of these shulker mollusks, and I don't know what to do with them. I can make some not great food. A crawling sandwich, which will make you hungry. Ender paella, which isn't great. It has resistance and nourishment, I guess. I don't actually know what you give me because you're an item you place down. Dog food, yay. And that's about it. Reactive. Yes, I don't really know how useful that is, but we're gonna end up with a whole bunch of it because I need a whole bunch of shulker shells. So I guess that works. I think you're valid, but I can't really tell because you're not going back to it. So I'll have to kind of look things up. Maybe I can find a way to kind of map it out here and see what area he wants, and then I can place little pedestals for these to be put on so I don't have to check it later. Starting to kind of map out, like I said, with the floor here. So ideally I'll have a nice little circle all the way around. But for right now, this is working. We've got ourselves a lot of shulkers, so that's good. That's going to be basically infinite. It'll just take a while to get them all. I don't really have anything else here of value besides the shulkers. Enderman I haven't seen. Enderman sight came in, so the Enderman is within range. I feel like here it wasn't though. So I'll take that out and we'll see if it gets anything else in there from the Enderman. I'll monitor it for a while. But we've got the things we need now to start doing some proper automation. I've been having to hop down there and put things into the apparatus either manually or put it down into the repo down there. I would like to have some automation where I can just press a button and tell it to make me 20 of something. So that will be the plan for next episode. For right now though, we're going to call it here. And yeah, I'm happy with this. I can fly now. I've got myself some gliding threads. I can upgrade all of these to tier 3 as well now. What does it actually take? I checked it. 2 pearls and a chorus fruit. Perfect. We've got those. We can start upgrading things. We can start automation. We can start expanding the university here. I need a good name for this. If you have any good ideas for a name for the university, leave them in the comments, and I would love to hear your ideas. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.